Welcome to Happy Studios. Here we are again with the video number 2 of completing the Mother's Day gift. So here we are with the 2 hearts that we created in the previous video. Please, if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch that video, because in that video we learned how to create the medium heart and the small heart. As you can see on the table, we have all the materials that we need to finish the beautiful rings that we are going to be creating. And here they are. For a close-up look at these beautiful earrings for Mother's Day that we have. I can't see my screen very well, so I hope I'm in the shot. So this is what we're making for Mother's Day. So video number 2, we have the rings that we need. We have the little embellishments that we have, that we also will need in order to make them the same way or as close to this. Remember, this is a suggestion of a gift, and this is a model of a beautiful item that you can make for Mother's Day, but you choose the beads that you want to use, the color that you want to use. So this is a suggestion. The reason why I did them red is because my mother loves red, and these ones will go to my mother. Once I give them to her for Mother's Day, I will show you some pictures. She also loves green, so I think she might want some greens too. Okay, let's start. We're gonna need some rings. I have the silver rings for the jewelry projects that I do. And this is a mat. This is a jewelry mat. Every time you make jewelry, you have to have a mat like this, because your beads will tend to jump on you. They will tend to fly from your hands. And if they fly and you don't have a mat, they roll everywhere. On this type of mat, they stay. So that's why we have this mat. I know the color might not look the greatest on the video, but we'll do our best. We have our pliers. So let's go ahead and start. We have the 2 hearts. The first thing that we want to do is make sure that you have your needles threaded with the thread that is the color of your yarn. And we're going to put the beautiful crystal in the center. So let's do that. I'm going to use a medium-sized crystal. So I'm going to need 2. And I'm going to need 2 small ones. So let's pick 2 small ones. Okay. You know, sometimes I pick more in case I drop one. I don't have to go back and open the container again. So there we go. Okay. Remember, always work on the front of your heart, not the back. Remember, we have front and back. So here we go. You're going to grab your bead, your medium size. You know what? We also need seed beads. I'm sorry, you guys. I totally forgot to tell you about the seed beads. So let me bring them out for you. This is optional also. These are seed beads from Fire Mountain Gems. I use this company a lot for all my jewelry projects. They have beautiful beads and everything that you need to make jewelry. When you open this type of tubes, you might want to be careful, because beads tend to jump on you a lot. In this ones, once they spread, you need a vacuum to vacuum them. You can find this type of beads Hobby Lobby and at Michael's also, but I prefer this company. Okay, so we are going to grab 1 seed bead, 1 medium size crystal, another seed bead. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to pass through exactly in the center of the heart, so the beads can go exactly in that direction. We're only going to do it through one side of the heart. Why one side? Because we want the beads to stay on the center of the heart. So I grab my thread. I do this way. You can do it many ways. Do it for whatever way is comfortable to you. I'm going to pass the needle. See, the other side is hanging. It's perfectly fine, because I don't want knots. I don't want knots to show on my piece. So you never want the knots to be showing on your jewelry. Okay, so I'm positioning my needle on the other side. Now I'm going to thread. I already grabbed the heart. Now I'm going to thread my needle back into those beads. So I'm going to do it like 3 times, going back and forth on those beads. Okay, I'll show it to you. So it would look like this. It's loose right now, but that's okay. You're going to do it several times. You're going to keep hiding your thread in your yarn. Let's do it from up down there. And we want to make sure that it doesn't show as much as possible. Then go through all 3 beads again and go all the way to the other side. We're on the other side. Now we're going to do it again. We're going to go through the bottom and come back on the other side. Okay. It is normal for the thread to get a little tangled. So you just want to stretch it a little bit and see if it goes through. If it doesn't go through, we're going to have to improvise. There we go. Okay, we're already on this side. Now we go back inside the beads. This is our 3rd time. Back inside the beads. Make sure you grab all the beads. Okay, there. Perfect. We have the beads center. Now we're going to position ourselves and go to the tip of your heart. So go through your heart and you want to make sure that you're coming right at the center of the heart and keep going all the way to the bottom. Turn my heart. And I want to hide my red thread. I don't want the thread to show in my heart. So I want my heart as beautiful as possible. I enjoy doing jewelry a lot. I have a lot of jewelry pieces that I have given to my mother. Okay, we're right at the tip. Okay, here we're going to create this little part that we have here of the heart. At first, we're only going to do the center piece. Okay, so we're going to grab 1 small bead, one seed bead, 1 small bead, another seed bead. Okay, this is going to hold our small heart, and now we're going to go into the center of the heart. Okay, this is how we're going to join our hearts. So we're joining the hearts. Why did I choose to do it this way? Because I don't want a lot of metal in the hearts. I want them as free from metal as possible, so you can see the beauty of the crochet, you can see the beauty of the crystals, and it's a beautiful complete piece. So look, we're at the center of the heart. It might look a little bit out of place, but that's okay. We're going to go up and down again, securing those beads. Okay, so you put your needle again, go through your seed bead. If you can see it, I know it's hard to see, but you are able to tell when you go through those 3 seed beads. Okay, make sure that your small heart is on the right side too, because it's very easy to attach it without being in the right side. So there you go. Okay, that's 2nd time. Make sure that your thread is coming in 2 different areas. Okay, now in the 2nd part that we're going back into the small heart, this is where we attach the small seed beads. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I believe 3 is enough. Position your needle as close as possible next to the other seed bead. Okay, you want to do that first. There you go. There, we're positioned right on the side of the first beads. And you need 3, or you might need 4. It all depends on the size of your heart and the space that you have. So in my case, I need 3, but in your case, you might need 4, 5. That's quite all right. Remember that you help your design to be as beautiful as possible. So you're designing it, so you're just making sure that it looks as best as possible. There's many techniques in jewelry that you can use. In my case, to make this video, I'm gonna go through the center of those 3 beads again to give them more support, to give them more stability, and for them to dangle. In jewelry, you want the pieces to dangle properly, because that is a challenge, especially when you are using different types of materials. In our case, we crochet our hearts. It would have been very easy just to buy hearts and add them to the seed beads and design it that way. But in my case, I wanted to crochet them and to have different types of crafts, hand crafts, that you can put together and make a beautiful piece. Remember, you have to make things as unique as possible, as beautiful as possible. Look how beautiful that's looking. Excellent. You're doing a great job. So let's turn it around and let's position our thread somewhere else, grabbing yarn to make sure that you have yarn through that thread, and go back into your seed beads. Excellent. You're doing very, very well. This is very rewarding, this type of craftsmanship, jewelry making. For me, it saved me for the 9 long months of being pregnant. This is when I started learning about jewelry making. All my friends abandoned me when I was pregnant, so I felt very lonely. So I found a jewelry store close by. So I'm grabbing these 3 beads, you can see, for the center of the heart. So I'm going through, you're going to turn your work, you're going to go through the other side so they can land in the center. Land them in the center as much as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, but if you can. Okay, there we go. See? Now bring your needle back into the other side. Always make sure to grab yarn, okay? To grab that when you pass the needle through, make sure that it's in a way that you're grabbing yarn, because you don't want your piece of jewelry, your beads, to just fall off your piece. Okay, so if you can see, when we put our needle, I always make sure that it is going through the yarn. Uh-oh, we have a little tangle here. There we go. Just do it slowly to make sure that we get rid of that. Excellent. I'm going to come back through the bead again and through all 3 beads. Excellent. So there you are. You're almost done. Look how beautiful it looks. Okay. As your piece stretches and takes position of how it's supposed to land, it's going to start looking really, really nice. Okay, now we're positioning ourselves going down to here. And here, in my case, I sew mine in. So I sew all of them in. In your case, in this case, I bought this little beautiful dangle pieces that we are going to use today. So I'm going to secure my thread through all these pieces, again going up and down to land here to secure those beads. Again, I'm going to cut this. So let's do that. Let's put